Hi guys, today with an unusual video about gaming mices. You might see 3 of them now on the table. One of them is the Razer Viper Ultimate Mercury in my hands. The other one Xtrfy M4 and G Pro Wireless, but I have a few more. But I will come soon on that. I thought myself that why not do a review when I sell all the mices and just keep one, because I was searching for the best mice and I know there's no best mice in the market. But it's hard to choose one since there are so many good mices over there that you don't think that you might say the M4 is pretty good. But when you play another one, you find it better, but then thinking wasn't the other better and stuff. And in my hands you see the Viper Ultimate, the Xtrfy M4 and the G Pro Wireless. And so far I like this a lot because when I first went into lightweight mice, I liked the Model O, which I have right here. And it felt so similar to that because like the shape is almost the same. But yes, maybe the grip width is a bit smaller in the Viper Ultimate and the length. But all in all, the Viper Ultimate feels like a better Model O. And it was my favorite shape when I compared that against the G Pro Wireless, which is also good, but I realized that this mouse was too high in my opinion for my hands. I use relaxed claw grip and this one was too high in the bump. And the length was around 125, which didn't bother me that much. But the grip width was like fine. But when you look at the back, it doesn't have that support like the Viper Ultimate, which I have here. It was like a bit too small. So I find the Viper Ultimate better overall since it feels more agile in some games, like when I play Overwatch, CS, Quake or Doom Eternal. And there are some games which I perform better with the G Pro Wireless, like in CS, where flicks were a lot more needed and less tracking. But the mouse which I aimed the best with tracking and flicking was the Model O and the Viper Ultimate, but the Ultimate being a better version of it since it's a bit smaller, which I prefer for my hand size being 19:10, and that's why I'm keeping it. And there's not much review of the Mercury edition since it's new, and a lot of people in the esport pretend to use the G Pro Wireless. Maybe there's more sponsors with Logitech or the people find it better, but in the past Viper had a lot of technical issues like quality control where the scroll wheel rattled, which this is still fine. This one has the best quality I think, and problems with the side buttons being too much inside that you couldn't press that and had no function, that the buttons wobble a lot, but you don't have that in this mouse, in this copy, because they fixed that in the Mercury edition, and now it's one of the best mices in terms of quality and design, shape and weight distribution. But with the white printing on it, its weight is 4 grams more since I think since the printing, but it's also a lot better. I think it helps with the weight distribution, that the 78 gram is perfectly fine with this mouse and perfectly balanced now. Yeah, I think my favorite ambidextrous mice will be the Viper Ultimate, and my favorite ergo mice will be can still decide. I think it's whether the Xtrfy M4 or the Model O, the Model D minus, sorry, which I have here. And this mouse, I was so hyped when I pre-ordered that, and I think, yeah, I could say maybe this one is the number one compared to the Xtrfy M4, since it has this better palm support for ergo mouse and it fits perfectly fine in my hand. The only thing that bothers me in this mouse is the weight might be too light for me. It has no real balance, it is just too light. to just move around. Sometimes I miss shots because I feel inconsistent because of that, but the shape is, I think, perfect because it follows the curve very naturally and has this bump to give a support for palm, where this is a bit too aggressive, and this took me a pretty long time to get used to it. But it's also a great mouse for those who might try to fingertip it or like this design, which is very aggressive. But you gotta find it out for yourself. But I think the Model D minus is a bit better. The Xtrfy M4 has a bit more potential, but feels a bit more inconsistent than this one. I think this one is also better for browsing, since you have this palm support and you can just relax, or just have to grip it a bit aggressively, or maybe unnaturally, which is a bit weird for ergo mice, but I wouldn't say it's bad. Just give it a try. You gotta find that out for yourself. It depends on your hand size, on your hand grip style, on that kind of thing. But I think that one is my favorite ergo. I think I did a weird choice. Why the Viper Ultimate? Because I had enough of searching for new mices. I bought so many. And I'm gonna sell it now. I'm not even planning to use it as a museum or something like that, but when I say it, when I use so much mices, I could do a review, so it isn't done for nothing. And yeah, that is the purpose of it. And there was a mouse which I bought myself into, which was not a good idea, because first I had some issues for myself, but that is being nitpicky of myself, that the G Pro Wireless had no strong difference between the grip width and the back width here, and I wanted something that has more curves, so that the grip width goes a bit deeper and that the back side is a bit bigger, and also in a lightweight version of it. So I bought the Hati. But this mouse, I think I'm not gonna unbox it, guys. Well, this mouse was fine, but it had a lot of issues when I bought that after a week or two. That the buttons, oh wait, let's unbox it. Screw it. The packaging is pretty good. Don't say nothing about that, it's very fine, but when it comes to the mouse itself, it started to wobble on the clicks, which annoyed me a bit. But I must say the packaging is pretty solid. Wish that quality issue wasn't there, but you can see that in the video maybe, or just feel it. But it just wobbles a lot, and it's really annoying. Oh man, what a mess already. And it's even the beginning. I think that's the thing when you buy new mices, because there will always be new mices. There are a lot of new mices on the market, but well, I'm not interested in any more of these because my aim is not getting higher because of that. You just have to adjust in every new mouse. Because what I want to say is, the mouse is not gonna make you better. You are the player that gets better when you just practice for yourself, no matter what mouse you use. Yeah, it does some kind of difference when you buy a good FPS mouse, but doesn't have to be a top-end 200 euro mouse like in Germany. So I wouldn't say that this mouse is good because of its being very expensive. You can find for some cheap priced mouses that are also suited well for you, but I think I had just enough. But what I get with the Viper Ultimate in the package is you get wireless with 70 hours of battery, the best sensor right now, the best clicks probably. They're not as tactile as these others, and that is true, but it feels very fast and responsive, and the pre-travel is almost 3 to nothing, which was really good on the G Pro Wireless, not gonna lie. But I think this having the better sensor and having lower input lag makes it a bit better. It's always a question if you notice that or not, but the overall package in that is better for me, and I like these low profile mices since you feel more agile. You just feel it when you play very vertically, like games like Overwatch, and that is what I prefer for myself. And yeah, what I bought in the past too. Gonna look into that. There is this Model D. That is the bigger version. I pre-ordered that too, but yeah. The thing was, that's the glossy edition. I liked it though. I like the glossy one, but yeah, the problem is, yeah, this glossy coating, you just have to clean it every week, but that's not the issue. The issue was the clicks, but the funny thing is, you won't believe me, the clicks went fine again. I don't know if something was inside the mices that just distracted the clicking. Like when you clicked, you felt a weird pre and post travel. You sometimes couldn't click properly, but I think something moved inside again that you could click good as well. And this copy was a quality issue that I told Glorious about it, so I got my money back on this. So I bought the Model D minus. GG. But I think for bigger hands, this might be the mouse. That is just a bit too big for me. But what I found so good at the beginning was it was so big, but yet so light, and 69 grams. Nice number, by the way. I would say give it a try for people like 20 to 11. That might be the choice. And yeah. Then I have the Endgame XM1. Not gonna unpack that. You know the mouse and some reviews. But I had the problem with this mouse that I got a lot of cramps. I like that being the coating being not too soft, but has a lot of grip and still is soft in some way. And I think the scroll wheel is one of the best because it feels so high quality, it feels so good manufactured that the steps feel so defined and so consistent. I think it is one of the best. And the cable I thought is the best because it has less stiffness. It's the most soft cable, but that comes with another problem. When you have too soft cable, it always gets under your mouse feet because it just hangs really low and doesn't raise up. So every time you move forward, like you just get under the cable even when I use the mouse bungee. But that is just me being nitpicky because the community wanted the cable being so soft, so I can't blame Endgame for that. And the problem with this mouse where I got the cramps is because I think the mouse being too wide for its length and height. I think if that would be the Zowie S2 shape, I would have kept that a lot longer and that would be my main. But that wasn't the case. The width was just a bit brutal for me. And it gave me a lot of cramps and sometimes I couldn't aim, but it's still a great mouse. And from the community, I think it's the best mouse for claw grip, but it didn't work for me somehow, because when it grabbed like that for hours, like imagine that is XM1, it gave me a lot of pain on longer sessions, and that's not even when I'm doing some aim training, when I consistently move my mouse for flick shots. That also happens when I browse somewhere or just play relaxed games, which is really unfortunate, but doesn't make it a bad mouse. It just comes down to shape because everything else, like the clicks, like being low profile at the front, it's perfect. It's almost perfect, and for the price. Then I have the last mouse here, and that is a weird one. The Deathadder Mini. I just want to test it out, and yeah, why it's Chinese here, or written in Chinese. I just ordered that from China because it was released first there, and I want to give it hands on. It was very cheap though, so it was fine. But I don't know what just Razer did with that. I mean, come on, you can't design a mouse like that, because the normal Deathadder V2 I had too. I will put some mices in the description where they're not listed here in the video, not seen in the video, sorry, because some of them I sent them even back earlier, and some of them I sold them earlier, years ago. But the normal V2 was just a bit big for me, that's why I didn't keep that as well, because I had the normal V2 Pro too. But the V2 Mini is really small. I mean, 19 to 10 is not a small hand size, but even for small hands, I can't imagine that you will grip that pretty good, because having an ergo mouse needs a bit of size, because the curves of the mouse, how they fall off for the palm grip, has to be a bit big and has to have an enormous size to be able to follow the curves and just have a normal grip. But when you have something like this, which is so small, you can't even grip that in palm grip, even when you have hands like 70 to 8. So not recommended. But what I had in the past was a Viper Mini, and that would be a better choice to buy a small mice, where this doesn't make sense for me, which I don't have next to me. And the thing about the Viper Mini was it has so much potential. Like you feel that the mouse is really agile, and you can do good amount of flick shots, but it felt not so good on the tracking side because the grip width was so small. It cramped my hands and you couldn't have the control over it. Like the micro adjustments didn't feel so good, because I tested that for 2-3 weeks. I had to lower my DPI, but I couldn't find a perfect setting. I even got cramps after 3 minutes when I just use it normally. And mices like these are not for me. There are people that have the same hand size like me and like the Viper Mini a lot, but I'm not one of them. But what I like about it is that they made the hump a bit more, the highest hump on the back side of the mouse, where this is as the middle. Maybe this could be a bit better when it could be a bit in the back, but like I said, that is just me being nitpicky, so I won't mind about that, since like there's no perfect mouse, because every time there will be a new release, you gotta find something new. You will like that better, then will think, yeah, I think the other one was better, and in that moment there's a new mouse too. There will have another mices, but I think I'm done with that. I'm gonna sell all of these mices, and my current pick is the Viper Ultimate. And as I said, I'm gonna put them in the description. Like, it's pretty unusual video on my channel where I do not do some mouse reviews. But yeah, I want to do this because I bought a lot, so I could cover that up. That it had its purpose, that I used so many mices over almost a year maybe. And now I think I found my main. But yeah, you just have to give it a try, like for 2-3 weeks. It has to break in for your hands. It doesn't help when you just switch every hour to a new mouse, because you have to get used to the older mouse again. You will have that problems. But I think I would say, well, when I would do like a top 3, I would say the Viper Ultimate is the best. The second being the Viper Mini, and I think then is the G Pro Wireless, because this mouse needed a lot of time to get used to it. But when it did, I am pretty well with that. But somewhere it just stopped that I played better. I couldn't get any better. But this mouse, after a hour, like the Model O, I started right off with pretty good aim, being more agile, having more accurate shots, and it just raised up. And I think from now on it will raise up even more, because I just play one mouse instead of switching every 3 or 4 weeks to another mouse. But I got in a time that I don't have that much time of playing games, which is pretty unfortunate. But I think when I will do, I will feel that this mouse will gonna get better. And if you want to see a video about that, I can make one, since it is my first video and I'm not a pro player at all. I'm just playing casually shooter like for 8 years. But yeah, I think for a normal user like me, I would say the Viper Ultimate is the best, but it was the most expensive. So I think when you go around 50 or 60 euros, I would say go for, when it's an ambi mouse, maybe give it the Viper Mini a try as ambi mouse, or the Endgame XM1. And the best ergo mouse for me would be the Model E minus, and very close being the Xtrfy M4. And I think as a third mouse, being the best ergo, would be the Deathadder V2, which I don't have here unfortunately because I sent it back. But the mouse was a bit too big for me, but when you look at the overall package, what you get with the sensor being the best one, the PTFE mouse feed, the scroll wheel, the clicks, when you don't have that QC issue, I think that is the best mouse. And if you're a Deathadder fan for years and you want to go for the wireless one, get the V2 Pro, because this has even better clicks, better feeds, and overall better weight balancing, because it weighs more with that wireless, but it feels more balanced in my opinion. And 87 gram isn't too much in that version, and 78 is really fine. I think the normal Ultimate was 74, but this doesn't bother me at all. I think I came to a point where I say that 60 to 70 is just a bit too low, whereas 70 to 80 is the perfect spot for me. Like, it isn't too much, but it isn't too low, that it doesn't feel balanced somewhere. I think it's perfect, and 78 being just totally fine, considering that this is wireless, so I don't mind. I can't argue with that. I hope you liked that video. I stuttered maybe a lot, but yeah. English is not my mother tongue, so I hope I did well. When you liked that video, just give it a like. When you disliked it, give it a dislike, you know that stuff. And thanks for watching. Just comment down below what you think and what I could do better. What is your main mouse currently, and I'd like to talk about it. What I almost forgot was when I didn't cover something up or forgot to mention, just comment it down below in the video so I can cover that up and answer the question with that. But otherwise, see you next time, guys.